Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric, if you don't already know. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I am going to just walk you through my work day. And while I work with you, just tell you a little bit about something that I'm pretty familiar with, something that I'm actually, some would say I'm an expert at. That would be failing, failure, losing, not succeeding, in case you guys didn't get that. Fortunately, it happens to everyone in business. Some people let it define them, but you shouldn't. Now, I'll be honest, failing definitely isn't something I like to admit. It's definitely not something I would choose to even talk about, but it's also something that's very important, and you shouldn't be ashamed if you fail, because, well, all of us fail. I don't think there's anyone that succeeded at everything they do. And honestly, the only time you're really learning is when you're failing. Like if you're winning at everything, are you really getting lessons from that? I know every time I fall on my face, that's when I get the biggest life lessons. Let's see, grab a couple more shirts over here. Yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna finish grabbing these blanks and I'll take you to the print shop. Now, failure isn't exactly the type of thing that we like to talk about. It's well, it's downright messy. It's uncomfortable and quite embarrassing, I'll tell you. Okay, guys. So before I leave you here, I just want to tell you a little story. But don't let this disgusting-looking wall distract you. I'm in my garage, my workshop here. It's under construction. It's going to be beautiful. Just wait and see. Don't judge me on that wall. Please don't judge me. But before I leave you today, I just want to tell you about my biggest failure in business and probably in life, I guess. So before I ran this business, before I even thought about printing on a t-shirt, I drove a truck for a living. I was a car hauler, and it actually was really successful at the moment. It made a great living for me. I was excited about that business and expanding it. And while in that business, since I hauled cars, I had access to really good deals, and I bought some cars for like amazing prices, and my intention was to flip them to make some more money. You know, of course, why not, right? Who wouldn't do that? So doing more research, I learned that in California, if you want to be flipping cars like that, you have to open up a dealership. You need a dealership license. So I went ahead and opened up a used car dealership. I spent all my time and effort, money, a lot of time, days, weeks, learning what to do, and then going to classes, taking tests, getting my actual dealership license, which takes a lot of steps. Look at it in your state. I'm sure there's a lot of steps to get it. But eventually I got it. I opened up my own office, my own dealership. Nothing crazy. It was just a few parking spots and an office, but I was really excited about it. And those first cars I had in the first month, they sold and they made so much profit. I was so excited. I made so much profit that I was like, I'm going all in. I'm expanding. And I seen other dealerships using credit to buy cars at the lots, and I was like, you know what, I could be like them. I got it. And they were telling me to do it, you know, they were encouraging, and that was one huge mistake, guys. I expanded way too fast. I tried to blow up. I wasn't growing the way that I was growing before. I took time away from my car hauling business and tried to sell more cars, which didn't work out. So I got in a whole lot of debt. When those payments came, I burned through my cash really quick, and that got me into a whole lot of trouble. Not only was I burning through all my cash in my dealership, but I no longer was bringing in as much money with my car hauling business, so that suffered as well. Walking away from that dealership, closing the doors only 3 months into owning a dealership was so embarrassing, was so sad and pathetic that I was depressed, guys. I didn't want to come out of the house, man. I know I had that other business to fall back onto, and thank God I did, but it wasn't a really good reassuring moment at the time. And then that all happened about 1 month into 2020. We all know what happened 3 months later or 2 months later. So it was a rough time in my life, and there were so many failures stacking up. Like, I look back to it, it was a tough time in my life, but I look back at it as the greatest moment of like learning. Like I learned so many lessons during that time that have taken me into this business here, which has completely changed the way we run business. We no longer ever run in debt. We always run cash. It took a lot longer to expand. We didn't scale overnight like I tried to do at the dealership. And here we are, guys. We have 11 embroidery machines all paid for with cash. We didn't have to sign any exclusive brand deals or anything. So we're doing all right. I have a very expensive printer. I'm sure you guys know how much that F3070 costs. The best pre-treater, the best heat press, the best dryer, or I guess it's not the best dryer, but it's a t-shirt dryer. And all of this paid for with cash. It took time, it took a lot of effort, but it was worth it every single step of the way. So yeah, that was one big lesson I took away from that failure in business. And I hope, maybe you guys could take something from it as well. At least take it as a lesson that when you fail, it's not the end of the world, that you can learn from it, that you can move on, that you can improve and get better from it. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. But here's the thing about failure. In my life, it has been the best teacher I've ever had. Sorry, Miss Davidson. When I first started my business, this t-shirt business actually, I made so many mistakes, man. It took me months, years. I'm still learning on the job now, so. Most important thing to do is never stop learning. Yeah, when I first started my business, I made so many mistakes. I printed shirts that didn't sell. I mismanaged my time. There was even moments when I thought that this business just wasn't for me. Like I couldn't get it down. It's not like I was the most stylish person growing up. Fashion wasn't always a calling in my life. But there's things that you really have to remind yourself along the way, like failing, it isn't the opposite of success. It's actually just part of the process. I remember the first time I actually started selling shirts. I created an Etsy store, spent hours and hours and a few $100 buying designs and uploading them to Etsy. And I learned real quick that I didn't really know what a good design was, as I sold nothing. So those little failures really teach you a lot of lessons. You learn to kind of, let's not just throw everything out the wall and see what sticks. Let's actually plan some steps out. Let's find out our market audience. Let's find out who we want to sell to. Maybe that's a good idea to run a business. Know who you want to sell to. Yeah, so in the process of starting this business, I had to learn about market research. I had to learn about finding my audience, really coming up with the exact type of person I want to sell shirts to, or, depending on the business. We're not just talking about selling shirts, but depending on your business, you got to find your audience no matter what the business is. A lot of people see that as wasted time, like they lost hours of their life that they're not going to get back. But I take that as like I went to school. Instead of wasting time and money at university, I learned from the School of Hard Knocks. And let me tell you, the School of Hard Knocks has taught this guy a lot of lessons. And t-shirts isn't my first business. And as you can see, I'm running t-shirts. So what happened to those businesses? Hint, they failed. I've lost a lot of money in business due to failure. And I think it takes a lot to just kind of get up and get back to work after that happens. But it's probably the most important step. If you just sit around doing nothing, nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna stay down. So one thing I had to do was shift the way I thought about failure. No longer did I get depressed, get sad, and let it ruin my time. What I started to do is see failure as a stop on the road, a pit stop on the road to success, as corny as that might sound. But that mindset really made a difference in the way I run my business. One good lesson you could take from failure, whatever you're failing at, gotta take some wind off this shirt. Whatever you're struggling at, it doesn't work out for you. That's just one more way not to do it next time. So After running that Etsy shop into the ground and getting not many sales and not making enough money to really do anything with, I started over. And let me tell you, that's not the first time I had to start over. My next my next Etsy shop wasn't my last Etsy shop. So even then, I still had to learn. It took years, and it's still taking years. I'm still learning. So if you're willing to look at your failures as lessons, you will learn more from those than anything else life could teach you. So how do we make failure turn into fuel for future success? Here are some things that have helped me. So first off, you got to reflect on what happened. You know, take some time to think about it, but don't dwell on it. Don't let it fester in your brain. Just learn the lesson and move on. So secondly, treat all your past experiences of failures like little like data on a flow chart. Use that to fuel your future decisions. Like if you know that too much work is going to get you into trouble, scale down a little bit. Vice versa, you know. So number 2, learn from the mistake and adjust. Obviously, don't do the same thing next time. Take that data that you got from your mistake and either don't do it or just change it slightly and try again. If that fails, change it again and try again. Pretty simple stuff, right? And pretty much for learning from a failure, for all of life's lessons, not just business, pretty much any lesson you can learn, always, and I mean always, keep moving forward. Never stop, never give up. Always be willing to learn, be willing to improve, be willing to take advice. Never quit. If I quit after my first flop, my first business, I definitely wouldn't be here now today, that's for sure. Wouldn't be making videos for you to watch. Shoot, speaking of videos, if I quit after my first video, which I should have, this one wouldn't be uploaded today, so there you go. All right, guys, so just remember, the next time you fail, whether it's in business, at the gym, in life, just remember that it's not the end of the world. You didn't lose. It's just another stepping stone to get you exactly where you need to go. So just know it's not the end of the road. Embrace the failure, embrace the life lesson, use it as fuel to fire that motivation and move on. Okay guys, so I got a bunch of shirts I gotta knock out, and as much as I like talking to you about stuff, I'm not gonna get anything done. I haven't even started printing. I've been out here for over an hour. So come on guys, why you gotta distract me like that? So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video now. Hopefully you learned something today. Probably not, it's only my second video back in a long time. So go ahead, like the video, subscribe, leave me a comment on what I need to work on, what I get to improve on, or any questions you got in business or life. I would love to help. Real quick, if you're still here and you wanna know, I'm down 8 pounds since, I don't know, 3 days on this protein diet. So it's pretty crazy. All right guys, you have a great day.